in one meeting. Then I told
Thanks,
him
Jesse.
to do it. Yeah, he said that it belongs to your friend. And once, the way it rained the other day, we worked this night with people. Well, hell, yeah. Oh, yeah, I mean, if something's not dependable. I know, it's frustrating to have some.
All right, I'm gonna start the meeting with a pledge to the flag. Welcome.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'm gonna sit over here to give you a little more space.
Alumni meeting tonight. Oh, yes.
What's that, Cal?
Alumni meeting. tonight.
Alumni meeting? Yeah. So tonight we actually have, well, actually we have 4 meetings because we have 3 separate public hearings on the different parts of the budget, and then we have the town board meeting. So I'm gonna start the public hearing part with a presentation of the preliminary budget. So I'll do that now and project it on that screen.
Yeah. This is three.
Okay, from the beginning. All right. I'll wait till everybody's ready here.
I'll sit here so I can see.
Okay, yeah, Jesse, we have Cal Snow and Pete Hoyt in attendance, in addition to the board members. Tim Murray, as you know, is absent tonight.
Thank you.
So this is my budget presentation, and if that black bar wasn't up there, it would say the preliminary budget presentation. Let's see if I push this. Okay. So the public official salaries, I did a comparative analysis for each of the positions with other Conference County towns, and made adjustments where appropriate. And that was based on 2025 numbers, and then we provided a 2.7% increase cost of living for next year. So if the increase is 2.7%, that means there was no adjustment from the comparative analysis, but the cost of living adjustment was made. So that resulted in a 2.7% increase for my position, 4% for the highway superintendent, 2.8% for the town clerk, 2.7% for the justices, and 10.2% for the council persons. In addition, for not in that box, for Compass County this year increased the living wage from $18.66 an hour to $24.82 an hour. So we budgeted hourly employment positions to maintain the town of Caroline as a living wage employer, and that mainly affects the maintenance and cleaner positions.
30%.
30%? What?
1866 to 2482.
I didn't calculate the percentage, but it's a big increase. Yeah, they did. Yeah. This is the slide I always put up to explain how property taxes are made. So what we're what we do when we go through the budget process is go through and consider what we want to spend money on, the expenditures, then we estimate what we expect to get in revenues that are not from taxes. And the difference has to be made up by the tax levy to the town. And we can reduce that number by allocating unassigned funds in our bank from previous taxing, previous taxes, I should say. So the fund balance is the unrestricted reserves, and the sort of what we shoot for is 20% of budgeted expenditures.
I'm sorry.
The next line says the same thing.
You want to keep the balance at 20% of your expenditures, is that what you said?
Yeah,
Okay, thanks.
that's right. It's not an absolute, but that's what we shoot for. Since 2011, New York State's tax cap limits annual growth in the tax levy to the lesser of 2% or the rate of inflation. Total assessed value is the total assessed value of properties in the town. And so that comes from two things. That comes from reassessment of properties as the market changes, and it comes from new physical infrastructure, new properties, new residents, new businesses. So the tax rate per thousand of assessed value is equal to the levy divided by the total assessed value. So you're dividing up that big lump of money over the assessed value throughout the town. So, and this is why I think Jay Franklin at the assessor's office continually struggles to clarify with the public that the town board sets taxes, you know, and that we establish how much money the town spends, and then that's spread out over the total assessed value in the town, and their job is to keep those assessments up to date. So every once in a while you'll get a reassessment and it'll increase your property taxes, but that's not what increases your taxes. It's the town board. If you do you have to look at the average of all properties over time. And so, but it's difficult for people, including myself, to grasp that when you see your assessment go up and you know this.
Why it's so hard?
This math, exactly, yeah. So,
Pretty straightforward.
it was very inconvenient, that top bar. Oops, now how do I go the other way? Oops. Go back this way. I'm going to use this because I can navigate it. So here's my table of appropriations or expenditures, revenues, and then applied fund balance in the preliminary budget. So for the general fund, $1,560,205, and so on. So the difference between those two is what we have to make up, either with applying previous funds we've gathered or raising new taxes. So that's a decision we always have to make about how much money we're going to use to offset the levy. And so this is what we have in the preliminary budget. So we're projecting that we need to raise $732,000 for general, $1.188 million for highway, for a combined $1.920 million in 2026, and that's a 2.57% change. In the lower part of the table shows the change in the total assessed value in the town. It went up from 385 to 390 million dollars. That's a 1.31% increase. And so the tax rate per thousand goes up like 1.36%. Okay, so this is budget highlights, if you can consider this highlights. So it shows expenditures in 2025 and 2026. You can see where they differ. You can see town board, we increased from the comparative analysis, we gave a 10% increase. That's where that comes from. The town hall is up, way up, and that's 416%. That's simply because of budgeting for the town hall restoration project. So you can see the expenditures, we budgeted $743,000 for this restoration project that we need to have. So that's money we have to spend before we get anything back. Safety inspection went up, is going up because the code officer's going to be working an extra day each week. So 4 days on average. So yeah. Benefits, which includes health insurance at the bottom, is up 10%, which is not as bad as it could be. So that's partly due to employee changes, but clusterfly. But health, the premiums went up 18% for health insurance this year. So that was a big change. The highway budget, road repair is up 13.8% because Bob determined that we were eligible for more CHIPS funds, so he must have more paving projects planned. Road capital improvements, 12.31%. So 8.515% overall for highway. I always put this in just to show that insurance is a significant part of the budget. You see health insurance. Property insurance. Workers' comp is down a little bit this year. This is my estimate of funds available for different projects. So for the highway barns, we have $383,000 in the highway barn reserve. In the expenditure line for that reserve, we have $40,000 remaining this year. And then we budgeted next year, like we always do, $65,000. So next year, not now, but next year, if you add all those up, it will have $488,000 available for the highway barn project. In the same way for the town hall, we currently have $124,000 in the town hall reserve there. There's $6,250 remaining in the expenditure account from this year. We typically budget $30,000 a year in that account. So we spent like $24,000 this year. And then I increased the budget next year for expenditures in that line, instead of 30,000, 626,210 to accommodate the town hall restoration project. So if you add all that up, we have $756,603 for this project at the budgeted amount match, 50% match with the state. Highway equipment, we reserves 36,000, 2025 remaining in the expenditure count is 86,000. We've been budgeting $200,000 a year for highway equipment, which is significantly up from recent years. And then and so consequently budgeted for 26, 200,000. So that leaves 322,746 available next year for highway equipment. Okay, so that might be good to keep in mind. Okay, here's my fund balance calculation. It kind of got off the pad there, but I guess it's readable. So savings is just the amount of the savings in the bank. So the top estimated fund balance at the top with savings and checking is just what we have in the bank. So start with that number, $1.9 million.
And that's for everything, right, Mark?
Yeah, that's just where we have all our money.
Okay.
But that's not all money we can spend. So that's what the next section is about. The next section are reserves, which are pots of money that we've allocated already for particular purposes. So 383,000 in the town barn reserve, 124,000 town hall reserve. Then we're saying we're going to spend 302,000 to offset the levy from the A fund. We have 36,000 in the DA, the highway equipment reserve. We're saying we're going to allocate. The next one. Well, I'm going to skip to the bottom of 310,000. That's how much DA fund balance that we have right now that we're saying we're going to spend to reduce that should say 26 levy. That wasn't updated. So the 325,000 above that is for a truck we expect to get in like January or February. It's been on order for a couple of years. So I put that in here. We could purchase it from fund balance or you know, that's like we have enough money in highway fund balance to pay for it. But it's not in the equipment line. So that's yeah.
Sorry to keep interrupting, but I'm confused. It says 2025.
That's 2026. That should be 2026. Sorry. Both of those I just forgot to update them in my
here. Okay.
See if I can do it.
And the bottom one also.
Oh, yeah, they're both 2026.
Everything that says 2025 should be 2026.
Yeah. That's a mistake. There.
And then what about these guys down the bottom? Just understanding that.
So I do the 20. I do it as a percentage of current year budgeted expenditures. So that was intentional.
So those were the budgeted expenditures last year, that 31.
Yeah.
100,000.
Yeah.
Right.
For both A and DA. Okay, so the point here is that for this second block of things, those have to be subtracted to figure out how much uncommitted money we have on hand. Those have to be subtracted from our total savings and checking. So those are going to be subtracted. Then we have to figure out how much money we're going to spend and how much money we're going to get from now until the end of the year. So that's what these cells are. So expenses for ANDA here, 236 and 266,000, and then revenues 283 and 490 for DA. So the difference there is gets added back in, right? So that does turn out to be a positive number, especially because of that 490, which is chips mainly. So that gets added back in. The next thing down is reimbursement from the broadband project. So we spent money from the fund balance early this year for permits for the broadband project. And so those are going to be reimbursed from the grant. So that's money to be returned to our fund balance, $278,000. So if you do all of that math, it comes out to $1,029,167, which is 32% of 25 budgeted expenditures, which is good.
And that's after you apply this and.
Those have all been subtracted out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see, can I do the? No, it doesn't do it while I'm in the show mode, so. So, yeah, does that all make sense?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is that because we spent a lot more in 2025 or we're spending a lot less in 2026? Why is such a big difference
A big difference in what?
between 1 million and 3 million? That's
Oh.
30%.
Between 2 million and 3
Well,
million?
you're saying that we're spending our fund balance. is
Oh, I see.
saying, oh, wait a minute. Well, maybe I'm looking at it wrong. What's the 32% mean?
So the 3 million is what we budgeted to spend in 2025.
Did we actually spend it?
Well, some of it's left over. But it's not in the calculation here. All we're doing there is saying, this is for the rubric that's.
That's right, no, these two numbers.
Yeah, we just want to know. Our estimated fund balance, how big is it relative to last year's budgeted expenditures? It's 30% or so, something like that. Does that make sense?
I
So,
just don't know what, you gotta explain why is that important.
oh, it's because, so if you ask the state comptroller's office, how much money should we keep on hand? They won't tell you, but the general guideline is, for, 15 to 20% or like 2 months of expenses to keep the town going. Say, well, something happened and you needed money. So,
So my question still stands is why is that 32% so much higher than what they may recommend at 15?
well, it's just, that's how much, we're in good shape.
Okay.
We're in good shape.
What's it, again, does it mean that we spent less than we expected last year, or that we're spending more? No, we spend more than we expected last year, or we're spending less this year? So I'm just trying to understand why there's such a
No,
big.
I mean, so if I go to so here's the fund balance over time. Okay, so it varies over time. We've had really high fund balances recently, so the estimated fund balance for 2026 is going back to about the steady state that we've had.
So what was that number, the 32% this year, what was it last year? Do you remember? Less than that?
I
Should've been more than that.
think it was more than
Yeah,
that. It
because
was more than that.
the graph says it was.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, it would have been a lot more. And for small towns, that's why they won't tell you, because for small towns, it makes sense to have a greater proportion on hand, because
Right, yeah, and wipeout could hurt a small town a lot versus a big town.
so, if you need a big bridge project all of a sudden, or culvert project.
got it.
So, yeah,
I think our management knocked off the high and the low, and pretty much, if you knocked off the high and the low, be pretty much right on
yeah,
your 10-year average.
yeah.
Right. Except the overall budget's gone up, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
would expect there to be kind of an ascending on the graph.
And, if you drew a line here, it's a positive line probably, going up like that. Yeah, then I'm gonna, yeah, okay, I'll continue, so, now I'll move on to the presentation of this is my presentation, this isn't the public hearing, so,
Mark, when's a good time for the audience to ask questions? You want some now?
yeah, you can ask now, yeah.
Okay.
So do I need to back up or what?
No, I don't think so. It's probably my lack of understanding trying to read this darn thing. I mean, I didn't bring my coat box with me, so. Okay, I asked you about the missing revenue from the aid fund. I still don't understand that if we. It might be a mistake. I mean, if we go to the third or fourth page of this thing here where.
Yeah, so that's a different document, that's the tentative budget, right?
I think so, is
Yeah,
what I got
so
from Jessica.
It shouldn't be that different, I don't think, but
So what is can you show us on this would be the preliminary budget. What the A fund revenue is budgeted for 2026? Have you got that number on your thing?
what the A fund,
Yeah, the sum of all.
That's the-
revenues, so
that's the.
I mean, I've got, it looks, like I say, I'm having trouble with this, it looks like around 526,000. You have good eyeballs on your young man.
Oh, I have my glasses.
That's the revenues, that's revenues for
For the A fund,
yeah,
is that pretty much what you got?
that's right there on the slide, yeah.
Revenues?
General revenues, 526,000.
Okay, good. And the previous year, they were much higher, looks like. If I'm right about this, they were 900 and something there again is what I got circled there, John. What does that say?
Full revenues.
Is that 900,000?
Yep,
Circled. right there.
938, 286.
Yeah, So the revenues have gone down. I would have expected the revenues to go up because of the state reimbursement or partial reimbursement for the town hall restoration. I mean, that kicked the expenses way up. And I would think that the revenues would be correspondingly higher as well. Yeah, I just remember that's how we always did things, even if it's a net zero to the town, if there's a big expense that's reimbursed. Both those numbers show up on the respective sides of the sheet.
So. Let's see. So that's that 900 includes the taxes in this spreadsheet.
Okay,
So this doesn't include the taxes because that's what we're trying to figure
Okay.
out here.
all right, okay, fair enough. I mean, I get it. Yeah, that
Yep.
threw me this afternoon. I picked her up in some of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a revenue line in there for that reimbursement though? I mean, maybe it's in there.
For
and I
what?
didn't even
There-
see it.
In this year's budget,
Yeah, or did that
there
all
is.
happen already?
no, I put it in for the 26 budget because that's.
So there is a revenue line in there of approximately $400,000.
No, it's, so let's see, so this is the tentative budget, but in the preliminary budget for, the worksheet, let's see. So I was explaining that earlier with the, it's printed out weird. So town hall. Town hall, A1620.43, I budgeted at 626,210.
Is that the expense or the revenue?
That's expense.
Okay,
That's expense. So. And the reason, so the grant is for a total of $750,000, but we have $124,000 in town hall reserves. So I subtracted that out from 750. We can spend that. So,
yeah.
so
Well, I'm not quibbling with the decisions you made or with
Yeah.
how it's all coming out. I just.
So there's also, I'm just to complete my thought here.
Okay.
There's also a revenue line for the reimbursement from the state for $375,000. So the net in the budget is $375,000
Okay,
that the town will have to spend.
okay. And that's all properly reflected. I just didn't pick it up properly. I mean, those things are hard to read.
It's in there.
And they've gotten harder, by the way. I don't know, maybe it's the colors or the format or
Okay.
the software that you're using to present it.
Your glasses, your eyes.
Well, no, I had the big Coke bottles on home. I have one or two other quick questions, if I could just see my sheet there, please.
It won't steal it from you.
Nah, don't want. Nothing in here about the broadband. I mean, I wasn't there again. I would have expected.
Okay, that's a
big
decent- that's a good
expense, big
question.
Revenue.
And somebody else asked me about that.
Okay.
The reason it's not in here is because the broadband is all covered by the bond that we took out. So we borrowed all of that money.
Well, then the debt service ought to show up in here.
Right, so we'll have $160,000 of debt service next year
In 2027 or?
in 26,
Okay.
but that'll be reimbursed from the state.
But is that 126,000 in here and I just missed it?
No, the 160,000, it's not in there.
Why wouldn't that
No.
be part of the budget?
I don't know. I don't know if it needs to be in there. I asked the bookkeeper about that, so,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe it's a good question.
So you're thinking it should be put in
So the thing,
that we're.
it won't affect the levy.
Right.
No, I understand that part. It's just, I guess, for consistency, because one of the things that threw me when I was first learning this. When I was on, is that even if it's a net zero to the town, there's an expense and it's reimbursed,
Understood,
they both go up.
right, exactly.
And so this seems to be kind of breaking that.
Yeah.
Trend, I
Well,
guess.
it probably, I agree, it should probably be in there.
Well, and it's gonna affect the totals. I mean, if there is, say, 160,000 of debt service that will be paid in 2026. That has to come from somewhere, and it's not accounted for
Well,
in the
except that,
combination of
so
fund balance plus levy.
our plan is to, in order to keep the expenses from the broadband project, so it is eligible for grant reimbursement.
Mhm.
So in order to keep those within the broadband project, they'll be paid from the bond and reimbursed from the state, so that they won't show up, it won't show up in the budget.
So even the $162,000 of debt service on the bond
It's paid from the bond, then,
pays itself.
No,
no.
the state
This-
pays the bond
Right.
interest. The debt service, it's eligible for from the grant that we got.
So that other than fronting some money for a while.
From
The
the
town
bond.
is, pardon me?
From the bond,
Yes.
yeah,
But I mean, it's an obligation taken on by the town. But the presumption is that everything, including any debt service, I mean, if we're fronting the state some money, there is that period of time during which interest has to be paid. I mean, will the state be covering us on that, or will
Yes.
we?
the MIP grant
So
covers us. on
it
that.
will cost us absolutely nothing other than the time it takes to sit here and talk about it.
the interest payment's eligible for grant.
Yep.
Reimbursement.
Gosh. hope for our sakes.
But your question is well taken. I'm actually wanting to bear down on this a little bit, figure out
And then the last
sure we do it
question
right.
probably just reflects my own ignorance here, but I
Probably,
just wrote down,
Just kidding.
say what?
No, I wasn't agreeing with you. I wasn't.
Hey, I said it, man, you're free to agree.
Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, how does the A fund grow? I mean, I see that we use the A fund to partially offset taxes. And I see that you have a nice, healthy, more than healthy balance left, and that seems to maintain. That means that money has to go back into that fund balance each year. I mean, it's like each year we take out the partial, to cover some of the expenses, the tax levy makes up for the rest of them. And yet the fund balance stays healthy, so where does the money go in each year? Where does that come from to go in? That's what I'm mixed up on.
Well, I mean, it just, we're raising more than we spend, and then we return it when we return fund balance
Okay.
to offset the levies.
It comes from additional revenues, I mean.
Not additional, they're one we budgeted for. I mean, if you spend more than you generate in revenues, your fund balance is definitely gonna go down, right? So, yeah, I mean, what you do with the exercise we go through here to figure out how much fund balance to return to offset the levy is basically saying, okay, we budgeted to expend,
Oh, and we didn't spend it all.
and we didn't spend it all, so we need to return it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. It looks like, some of the expenses I don't like, but what can we do about cost of health insurance? I think you do a pretty good job of managing this.
well, thank you,
Yeah, you do.
thanks.
I think Pete too, what I saw was, retirement. Fund requirement went up a lot,
Retirement,
yeah.
Nobody's supposed to retire, you just die, man. You're gonna die.
We don't have any control over.
Right,
that.
you have no
It's just-
control. And that was one of the bigger. Or it was a huge one.
All right, well, this is good.
Good, okay, so I'll continue, because
Yeah, thank you.
so. Let's see, so there's that. I covered these already, right? Yeah, and that, yeah.
Did I ask about A7140.1? Did I ask about A7140.1?
A71,
That's the summer youth program,
what is it?
the summer youth,
Oh, yeah. Is it 0?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so it has a, I think it's a 3820 is the revenue line for that,
yeah,
and they're always equal. But we don't know what they are until the summer camp. We're just a pass-through for the Brookendale summer camp. That's what,
Right.
and
that's right.
and so we do the payroll. So I just I could guess what it is, but then I'm gonna have to change it anyway. So I just do,
No, I was just, I just kind of had this thing that all the programs gonna be dropped.
yeah.
Change. Well, so
Yeah.
nothing's.
We
That's
have,
right.
there's another line that we have for the,
Yeah.
It's the wind.
yeah, it's just the
The
way
wind
it's
is supposed to be.
whipping it. So, yeah. Okay, Caroline Fire Protection District, so Speedsville Fire is for their contract with the town for the Caroline Fire Protection District. That's what this is all about. They're up a little bit, 3.9%. I think they budgeted for,
What's the number?
they have a new truck they're working on.
Yeah, what's the number?
Toward the end, it should be in the, let's see.
I just don't like this software.
You don't like the colors?
Well, it's not only the colors and it could
hard to
be
read.
the way it renders on the printer. I think it's like more bits on a page and on a screen, so the headings are places.
I think it's easier to read on the screen.
Pardon me?
I agree with you, it's easier to read on
Yeah.
the screen. I can also make it bigger.
Maybe bigger on.
So it's farther along, it's SF1. 3410.413. But the numbers are here in my handy little presentation as well, so. So 3.9% increase for Speedsville. Brookendale stayed flat, they've been flat for a number of years, so that's nice.
Right, we contract with Brookendale to provide partial coverage for the action district.
We contract with Speedsville and Brookendale for the Caroline Fire Protection District.
Right.
Then Brookendale and Slaterville have their own districts,
Oh, yeah,
and you
I'm
probably,
on the commission in
did
Slater.
you go? Did you go to their meeting, their public hearing?
No, I missed that, oh bad boy. Did anybody show up?
I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know, but it would
We
be
get a
good.
bigger turnout for this.
What's that?
We get a bigger turnout for
For
this
this?
meeting, because you got two people.
2 instead of
Once in a
0.
while Frank Proto goes, the other one, I think he.
Yeah. Oh, they would be good to attend.
Oh, I know.
No, I'm not, I'm talking to myself, not you,
No, but the fire, I tell you,
so.
it's a bigger can of worms there than it is here. Smaller overall amounts of money, but bigger can of worms.
Yeah,
I was just curious about Speedsville, because I think they've stayed pretty constant over the last 12 or 14 years. I seem to remember we were paying them like 67,000 a year or something back in 2010.
Yeah.
They've done a really amazing job, I think,
mhm.
not putting in for more all the while.
So you can see, the tax levy increase no fund balance allocated to offset the levy, 2.7% increase. Total assessed value increased 2.61, so the tax rate increased a little bit, 0.55% for the fire district. And then here's this shows the fund balance over time. They don't have a huge fund balance, now around $2,000, which
For the
that's,
lighting or the fire protection?
what's that?
The fire protection?
Yeah.
That seems low, doesn't it? I mean, what do you think the overall budget is? It's somewhere in the neighborhood of 100,000 or a little more, isn't it, for the fire protection?
I mean, I guess. I figure all we need is fund balance to cover, variation in the contract amount. I mean, we're not liable for any other expenses. So,
It just seems so out of keeping with the 20% recommendation for the town as a whole
mhm.
and only 2% for the fire protection district. I don't know, it just kind of jarred me when I heard you say that number. I don't have any basis for complaining about it, but it just jarred me.
I see your point.
Everybody's happy, everybody's happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think like how,
What would we need?
like, yeah, what would we need, like 20% of,
Say Speedsville engine blew up on their truck. Now technically, that's their problem. But
they would have to plan.
it's also in a way our problem because then suddenly the fire protection has diminished because they have a truck that won't run, so. How does that work out? I mean, does the town come to their rescue and make them alone? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Would the town have to increase its contract with the Brookendale Fire District, because Speedsville in this case can provide less protection, so the town has to ask
But then-
Brookendale to please
but-
step up.
The contract's already established, so for the
Well,
next
certain
year,
boundaries though, right? I mean, isn't it established on kind of a boundary basis? If the fire is here within the district,
oh, for that,
Brookendale gets paged or else Speedsville gets paged. I mean,
oh, paged.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they have a,
right, and if Speedsville engine blows up, then maybe that boundary has to change. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
that would be a longer term thing. For this year's contract, we have a contract with maps showing their areas of responsibility.
But
So, yeah,
no matter how would Speedsville fulfill their contract? I mean, they don't have enough money to run out, pay 10 grand or 30 grand. I don't know what a new engine costs.
This follows what we've done for years, right? What you have up here is what we follow, we haven't,
Right, this isn't new.
this
But
isn't new.
No, and I'm not complaining about it, Mark. I just, like I say, it just seems,
I see how it's different, but
it
it's
seems to be kind of
also,
a coast.
I can see like for the town budget, there are the vagaries of nature and all kinds of unexpected things that come up in the year where, yeah, we need more money than we thought we did.
Mhm.
But for a contractual arrangement with fire department, it seems different to me.
Okay,
Like the risk of, or the need for
I'll
additional.
go back and see what kind of a fund balance we keep in Slaterville. Of course, Slaterville's all thrown to crazy because it just bought another damn.
Yeah, so for the districts, but yeah, so they probably do keep.
Yeah.
So for the fire,
I should know that. I'm
for
sorry.
those, I agree, so. For them, I would keep a fund balance of around 20%.
Yeah, I think
For
we try to
Slaterville
maintain that.
and Brookendale, yeah. So,
Whatever. Just a thought.
yep. Streetlights, very exciting. And now that, covering that up, okay. Last year, I budgeted 4,000, this year I budgeted 7,000, I increased it a lot. because of the NIPA maintenance contract, so. And we under budgeted a little bit this year, and I didn't want that to happen again, so. Anyway, I increased it to make sure we weren't short. And so that large increase results in, it's a very small, the tax rate's extremely low.
Yeah.
But it's because of that, going from $4,000 to $7,000, it's a 72.82% increase in the tax rate, so. So that's what that's about. And here's the fund balance over time for the streetlights. That's around, actually, that's healthier or whatever, more robust than the fire.
Yeah.
Department.
Yes.
Yeah. And let's see, did I do this one at the beginning? So this is the preliminary budget. Is 52,000 more than the levy. This year's 52,000 more than last year's levy. And $2,568 below the tax cap, which is minus 0.13%.
The tax cap is 2%, right?
It's a tax cap formula that has a growth factor and stuff in it, so it's not just a straight 2%.
Okay.
So you have to. Okay, so that's my presentation. And I've already entertained a number of questions. And I need to formally open the public hearing for the general and highway budgets. So I will do that now and ask if there are any questions. And I'll do that if anybody wants to. There it is. Okay. Okay, this is my spreadsheet. This is the preliminary budget worksheet. So I'll just go down to this final cell that, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I stuck in the table for my presentation, so I won't go over it again, but anyway, are there any comments on actually, this is for the public, so it's for Cal or Pete.
No, thank you for answering our questions.
Oh, great.
Under safety, why is the need to go to 4 days?
The reason was to get the safety inspections done. So we've never gotten those done, and the state is mandating that those be done. So these are inspections of places of gathering or apartment buildings and things like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been, it's been lax in the past, and the state's clamping down on that's not getting done.
Yeah.
So you need to,
Yeah, it has to be reported.
has to be recorded and filed with the state.
Yeah. I think, yeah, and I think, I think code issues are, like. It's a bottomless pit, basically, so there's always something to do, but.
I think, so it's pitching on the safety inspections, because it doesn't seem there's that building requires building code. I mean, there's some going on, but
Yeah, I would agree with that, it's like, it's not crazy or anything,
So are Bob's hours gonna increase?
yeah. Great,
how often do those safety inspections of apartments and public gathering places have to be done?
I can't remember, Cal, for some things, it's like 2 years, others it's like 3,
Okay.
so it's.
It's different for different
It's
things.
different for different
Okay.
things, yeah, so. Yeah. It's a work in progress. Great, okay, well, with that, I'm gonna close the public hearing on the general and highway fund. And I will open the public hearing on the fire protection district. And your comments were appreciated.
Thank you.
I will consider that, so. Anything else? No? I'll close the public hearing on the fire protection district and open the public hearing on the lighting district. And hearing none, I will close the public hearing on the lighting district, so.
Yeah, it's nice when nobody shows up.
What's that,
It's
Pete?
nice when nobody shows up.
I think I just heard something.
Well, I was gonna say, I am grateful to you guys for showing up.
Well, it's, I mean, to my mind, it's the most important work you guys do across the years, spending our money.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah, it's important.
Well, my conservative point of view, it's kind of about the only thing you ought to be doing, but I think you do a good job with that, all of you. And,
Thank
you
you,
like
appreciate
to
that.
keep an eye on things.
Thank you. All right, so, and I didn't even put in the agenda, but we do want to have a discussion of the budget and consideration of adoption, or whether we'll do it tonight or next time, but
Yeah.
I did, yeah, so. Do we want to do that before the committee reports right now?
Yeah, I think so.
What's that?
I think so.
Yeah. So why don't we do that? So I did give you guys some changes that are actually pretty minor. But I started these when I looked more critically at some of the budget lines, and so I guess I'll just, okay, good night, Pete, thanks for coming, yep, see ya. So the changes for the court clerk, that's an increase due to I talked to Velvet, she's gonna get a 5% bump up next year for her 5-year tenure, so that changed the number a little bit.
Mhm.
So 25,228 to 25,812. For the deputy clerk line, so 2 things, as I mentioned earlier. So the deputy clerk line, cleaning and maintenance all will go to the new living wage rate next year, 24.82.
So why did they go down?
Yeah, they go
Yeah,
down.
that's why I'm gonna just explain why that.
Okay.
why that way. So that was the first thing I did, and then I looked at the actuals for what we were spending, and so based on the actuals at 24.82, 5,500 is adequate for
For the hours she works?
for the deputy clerk line.
Okay.
And 4,000 is adequate for the other 2 lines as well, so that's why I did that. It could change, and if we need, I think we have enough flexibility in our budget to, we could transfer money from another line to cover it from the contingency line or something, but I think those are responsible numbers. And, I did start, I started sharpening my pencil because I was worried that we were not gonna be able to stay under the tax cap, so that's what sort of started the process, but then I felt like we should do that. The insurance changed basically due to looking at the actuals have changed a little bit, so it's just a small change. Social Security changed because we changed some of the personnel lines, so that just, it's an automatic calculation in there, so that changed to what it is. And then I reconsidered the distribution of appropriated fund balance from 302 to 325,000 for A fund and from 310 to 281,000 for DA. And then the last one is the Brookendale fire contract. I just got that since the last meeting, so I put in the right number. I'd done a 2% adder before, that's what the first number is, but
Okay,
it stayed flat at 0%, so. And just to show you, this is the worksheet with those numbers in there. So the numbers for with these numbers, so first I'll show you. Here's the expended fund balance from this year, 325, 281, there and there. And then, so this puts us at just $454 under the tax cap. So it's very close to the tax cap. And it's not that different. The difference between the 25 and 26 levy under this scenario is 58,000 instead of what I showed you in the presentation, which I think was 56,000 or something like that. So anyway, this is just to show that it still works with these changes. So that would be, those are changes that I would propose adding in, making.
Can I just ask one question about
Or more.
the history room thing? It's like such a small thing. But what is the $1,500 for that's projected for next year? It's like it says historian room. What is that? It's like a different,
I think I have a note about it.
oh, okay.
we talked about it.
We
Yeah,
talked
so
about it, but
did.
it was, I thought you had to get the information and I don't think I've ever heard the information.
So the historian room, she put $800 for office and preservation supplies, $700 for reusable display and preservation items.
Okay, so, but then, so the 2,000, what's the 2,000 for? Is that's supplies also, isn't it?
Well, I agree, and in fact, I almost just lumped this all into 0.4. I don't know why it's separated.
Because that makes it go up 40%.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, so let's see.
Hey, Mark,
Yes, Jesse.
doesn't the 7410.4, am I confusing that line? What does the library purchases, do they not come out of that line, or is that separate?
It's separate. It's a 7410.4 line 2000. If you can see my screen.
Yeah, what's the line for the library for their expenses?
It does say 7410.4.
So 2,000 of that you're looking under,
What is that 2000 for?
I thought,
Oh,
those-
no, I see what you're saying. No, those are, that's not library in the 75-10.4. And I actually, I don't have my folder here, but I don't think that Barb specified what that was for. I could be wrong, so. But,
So it seems like 1,500 is like for additional supplies because the 2,000 is also for supplies.
yeah, I agree with that, probably. Do you want to get clarification on that?
I mean, it's such a small amount, I don't want to be.
It is.
But it's a lot for a historian, isn't it? For what they're doing there. It's like a lot of money. 30,
I just don't understand.
35.
It'd just be nice to know what it is.
I don't see what the difference between preservation supplies and any other supplies that they're using. I mean, that's the only thing
Yeah,
those are the only supplies they're using is for preservation. In fact, they're buying folders and
mhm,
that's all for preservation. And so I can't think of any other supplies like they're not spending $2,000 in copy paper or something. I mean, it's,
mhm.
And wasn't there a large amount spent for this year? I remember we had a conversation.
well, it went over. This year it went over. Like it was supposed to be 2,000 and this year they went over by 467. And so then for next year, they've got this additional 1,500 and I just don't
I see.
understand what that's for.
So, yeah, maybe, yeah,
I mean, I don't know if it's in the scheme of the whole budget, I don't know if it's worth. And I don't want it to seem like I'm picking on them or something, but
I mean, I guess as far as holding up the budget, I don't think it's worth doing that.
Yeah.
But it could be a discussion about, clarifying what it's for and if it's really needed or whatever, or maybe
yeah, I
not.
mean, I do question whether some of the supplies are actually.
Pardon me?
I question whether some of the supplies are needed, but everybody has a different opinion on stuff like
I
that.
know, yeah, that's the difficulty, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. But I guess my point is just, if we have that in the budget, it doesn't mean it has to be spent,
okay,
is all
yeah,
I'm saying, so.
right. So it'll be interesting to see what it is spent
Yeah.
on this year. I think.
But they did go over last year,
This year.
so is there, well, this year is so it. So we do need to, I mean, it's something you have to watch so that we don't keep going over it here.
Right,
Going over budget,
this could be an
even though
adjustment
it's
for
a small
that.
amount,
Yeah.
still, the point of it.
I
If
get
everyone
that.
did that, then we'd be way over budget.
Yeah, and I get that, but I just don't understand why it's in this whole separate line, it's on a separate line with little asterisks and
Mhm.
it's increased their budget by 40%, which seems like a lot, so. That's why I'm asking, I'm not
Yeah.
advocating action.
Could be a entry for just having a discussion about,
Yeah.
about it, so. Yeah. So, yeah. So I am a little, I mean, I think Keith's question about the debt service for the interest payment, I mean, Tim had asked that I have a line in there for that.
I thought we had talked about that.
So, yeah, and I did discuss it and I would kind of like to follow up with Velvet to try to figure this out, at least confirm that this is okay or whatever, but.
So. Yeah, I mean, because the bond is completely separate from the budget, right? We don't have
Well,
the bond in the budget.
yeah, we don't, yeah,
I mean, would that mean we'd have to put the bond in the budget?
Or the bond would have to have its own budget.
The bond has its own budget.
It does?
Yeah, so.
So it should be reflected in that, right? Money is coming out from that budget to pay. But then it would be like an income for us, right?
The money will go like. So like the interest and things will go into the bond balance, right? And then it will get paid off by the state.
So,
We are.
but it's correct that the interest payment is to be paid. Yeah,
I thought it was.
Did the bond pay it or do the citizens pay it?
The bond pays it,
no, so
the bond pays the interest.
the bond interest, the grant is gonna pay for the bond interest.
No, I get that, but as long as it's not, as long as the people aren't involved in or out of the money, it doesn't seem like it should be in the budget.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
It's its own thing.
What about,
But it seems like it should be tracked in some way.
it is tracked.
Okay,
Drive
It is-
tracking it?
Yeah, they're
Okay,
tracking it.
well, that's- that makes sense.
Fiber and,
They're a third party or a third entity that we've given power to do such things, so.
Yeah, but
how does Dryden, budget?
Hmm?
How does Dryden handle their budget?
I don't know.
We could ask, I've forgotten her name.
I mean, the only,
The accountant that's working at Dryden Fiber,
Amanda,
Amanda, thank you, I couldn't remember her name, yeah.
I think the only reason that we would need it in our budget is if at some point it seems like it's gonna affect our budget overall. I mean, but it doesn't seem like it does.
like it doesn't come out of our budget at
No.
any
It's
time.
not coming out of the tax money. It's not coming, it's not,
Or even the fund.
It's not coming out of the fund.
right, because we talked about that. A few weeks ago. When we were talking about the broadband and. When the project has to start. Putting some money out before we get money back for the hookups, right? We talked about that and we take out the fund, we decided we would just keep the bond. So that would be the money coming in from, that's a completely different budget, that's the money coming in from. The people paying
yeah.
for the
it's gonna
broadband,
be-
and it's completely different, so we decided to
Well, I
take it
think,
out of the.
I think
project.
where it starts coming in is when it actually starts making money and there's.
You're not gonna leave, are you, Cal?
I'm turning into a pumpkin.
Okay,
It is
Thank you for all
an
your-
hours,
Thank
an
you.
hour later than you'd think,
Yeah,
so.
it's safe on the streets there, it's
Yeah,
crazy out there,
It's,
wind.
I mean, it's just so black out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Although like what,
There's
like
a full moon.
tonight is supposed to be the golden whatever moon, but it's
Is it?
not with these clouds,
I know
but
last night the moon.
it was beautiful.
It was striking.
Oh, it was amazing, yeah.
Good night.
Good night, Cal, thanks for coming.
So when,
It's that,
And good luck.
Thanks.
thanks.
in the seven, if there's any money that start coming in to pay off. Any of the expenses for the project, and then there's any benefit back to the town, we would start seeing money in a budget. Right,
So
But nothing, it's all gonna
Here-
stay with its own.
here's where I am though, so I'm in my compliance with the OSC mode, like, so. And I get balled up on this because this whole drying fiber thing it's complex. And so, yeah, the interest paid from the bond. And the state will reimburse, yeah, I mean, it is like it's totally separate,
It's totally, right now, it's totally separate.
Yeah.
And I think.
once all the expenses are paid off and the town starts making money from the service.
that's a different thing.
But that money could then get onto the budget at some point.
Oh,
That should-
No.
No, it never comes into our budget.
That's what we're trying to avoid.
what it will do is we will be able to decrease the cost of cable.
So,
Okay, well, we don't have to get into that, but
Yeah,
I'm
this is
just trying to
the-
make a point.
yeah,
That if you're planning to never have it touch the budget, you don't want it touching it now.
maybe, you could be right,
That's a good point.
yeah.
I agree with you. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you
just think
could be
it's so separate.
Yeah.
That it doesn't,
I mean, I think,
I mean, we're very public that we have it going on, the bond that's separate, it's full. Separate, and we are not taking any money from the taxes or from the town budget and putting it into this project.
right, I think Pete was thinking that the fees, whatever, were coming out of the budget and we're gonna get reimbursed back into the budget, but it sounds like that's not the case.
I think not.
It's more like a fee is applied to a loan and it's in the loan.
We are paying, there are things we're paying for, like the permits
No,
for the work to
that,
be done.
yeah, but that was because we didn't have the bond in place yet.
Hmm.
That's right.
And so now the bond that's in, it's kind of taking the place of us
That's right.
paying out.
Mhm.
Okay,
I guess.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
So actually, that's a good point. What if we could? I wonder, because like, I've been waiting for the state to reimburse for that amount, and then Amanda would be. But I could say now, it might make sense, because I'd like to get it done this year, and it's not gonna happen this year for reimbursement. For sure. So maybe that's a question too. Think I'm going, but I could just say, hey. Could you just have? Would that be good or not? Yeah,
Did you think of doing it in 2026 rather than
I
2025?
think in 2026, I'm thinking of now. Just recovering that fund balance from the bond. Doing it now, before the state reimbursement. Cause it's there.
Yeah.
right? But I would need to ask the experts about what they recommend, cause there could be implications, I don't know.
I think Amanda would be the one to ask that,
Mhm.
yeah.
Really good.
All right,
Anyway, though,
where are we at?
can I, so first of all,
You have to vote on this?
Yeah, can we vote on this?
Yeah,
So I'll offer this as a resolution for amendments to the preliminary budget as I just went through, so. And get a second by Michelle. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Great, so now we have an amended preliminary budget. Now the question is, do we want to adopt this as the adopted budget? Or do we want to wait till the 15th?
How do you feel about it?
I feel. I don't see a harm in waiting. It'd be nice to get it off our,
So you
Please.
want to talk to Amanda before, and
Yeah.
that one thing?
I want to follow up on the bond question. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you can always,
I
even
think
if we said yes to the budget, you can always change it. It's not like it's not changeable.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that, because I think we have modified an adopted budget in the past. I think we have done that. I think when I was on the board with Dawn, we did that one year.
but on the other hand, I mean, what's the harm in waiting until the next meeting?
Yeah.
You could ask those questions
And Tim will be back?
and Tim will be back,
Probably,
right?
yeah.
Might good to have his
Have
vote.
A full vote, yeah,
Okay.
so. All right, so let's hold off on that. Let's do that. We'll adopt it on the 15th of high water. So great. Okay. I think the advantage of doing it this way is it's, a little less complicated than, adopting it once and then adopting it again. So I like that. Hey, I meant to start the meeting. I mentioned this to so maybe all of you before, but did I mention about Harvey Starr passing away? So,
Yeah,
yeah, so that was really sad. So, I did want to mention that at the outset of the meeting.
can I see the picture?
Yeah.
Try that. I can find,
Yeah,
oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
yeah. Did you know him?
I'm sure I've seen him around. I mean,
Yeah.
this
Is he on some committees?
No, he used to be on the town board. Oh, he grew up in Sladeville here. And I saw him on October 1st, just a happenstance. He was a greeter when I checked in for a checkup at the hospital, and we had a conversation about this building when he was in second grade, and that they took out the rear stairwell. And, so we made a.
And they put this metal one on?
Yeah, and then they got the fire escape was donated from some other place in town.
Oh, wow, so that was not original, so
No.
they had removed a staircase and then put that
Yeah.
on. And now we're putting a new staircase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, so anyway, it's really, so I said, I want to follow up with you on this. He said, you know where to find me, and then he passed away of a heart attack at home on the 19th. Didn't feel good, so really. But he would come in the town hall occasionally and was super nice guy, really nice. So. Anywho,
Miss that, thanks for sharing that.
I might mention that again at the business meeting. All set, so, okay, so let's move along. We beat the budget up tonight, so then I'm offering a resolution to authorize purchase of a Codex container for the town broadband project, whereas the town's municipal broadband project funded by the MIP program under development by Dryden Fiber will require long-term storage facilities in the town of Caroline that are not covered by the terms of the MIP grant. And whereas broadband project infrastructure in the town must be paid for and owned by the town of Caroline, whereas revenue from the broadband project can be used to reimburse the town for any such expenses, therefore be it resolved, the Caroline Town Board hereby authorizes the purchase of an 8 by 40 foot storage container and any associated materials and services to make it meet operational needs not to exceed $6,000. And further be it resolved, this purchase shall be charged to the town's broadband bond anticipation.
Where's it going?
I will admit, it's going over there by the wood chip pile. By the highway department.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this.
There's a fenced area.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be outside the fence.
What are they putting in it?
Stuff.
You know.
Old furniture?
No, it's like, you know,
Service equipment?
fiber optic cables,
Yeah.
these
All right,
devices
okay.
that,
You know, you need, I mean, the copper and whatever else they put in for that.
yeah.
They're not using copper.
Not copper.
The dimensions are 8 feet wide and 40 feet long.
Yeah.
How high is it?
You know,
Probably
they look like train cars.
Yeah, so
Storage
it's probably
containers.
8 feet,
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe 10, I don't know.
pretty big and heavy.
Anyway,
I feel like
It's,
somebody-
yeah, it's called there's pressure
Oh.
when the wind goes, like the building's a wing. And when the air goes across building, it creates negative and positive pressure and it forces the door open and closed.
back and forth, yeah.
So a lot of times when you feel drafts in old houses, that's what you're
Okay.
feeling, same exact thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I will reread the bond resolution to see if this is allowable, but I think we pass it as is.
Let's pass it as is
Yeah.
and assume that it will be available. If it's not, we can change.
Yeah, good. Okay, any other questions about it?
What color?
They're working on that.
Oh, really?
They're,
Purple.
actually, yeah, Rick Young is checking them out at the,
Yeah.
from Dryden, so they do come in different colors, so we're trying to get, they're yellow, there's
Blue,
brick
yeah,
red.
yeah.
Oh,
We probably would look bright.
Gonna be spray painted with graffiti.
Well, I started thinking, you know, there has
That'd be
been a
pretty
lot of
cool.
movement over here for a mural, so
very fun.
I think that, I mean, once we own it, we can do whatever we want, right? So. All right, I'll call for a vote.
Call for a second first.
Oh, yeah, did I get a second on that?
I'll second it.
Kate, I guess Kate got the second there. Thanks, Jesse.
I don't wanna
Uh,
hog all the seconds.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That's unanimous. With the four of us. Great. Let's see, and I guess associated with that is just to formalize the use of that space. I guess I'd like to offer a resolution that the Caroline Town Board hereby identifies that's the former Tompkins County recycling area at 866 Valley Road as the designated location for the Caroline Municipal Fiber Project Storage Connex and Storage Yard. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Michelle jumped on that one. Pretty straightforward, right?
Mhm.
Okay, any further questions? Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Then you know what, we need to go to committee reports for any further board actions, so sorry about that. I will ask for committee reports.
Well,
Oh, great.
do you have something? I had
No,
something
not
to say.
really,
It's not technically a committee, so my report.
No, I mean, good, Mark met with the trail people, that's been ongoing, so that's positive, just trying to think, I mean, everything's just.
Don't you have a transportation report?
I have a transportation report, you mean with this Tompkins County Transportation Council?
Yeah.
Yes, we met with, the
Okay.
new guy, Tom,
Okay,
and, he was very interested in hearing about, concerns we had and what we wanted from the Transportation Council and, getting communication. I talked with him today and we set up a time to walk around Brooklyn, actually. Good Hamlet. You could join us, it's, December 3rd, I think, I'll look it up.
Hmm.
It's December 3rd in the morning, but welcome to come. And so, yeah, that's about it.
so Tom sent us an email about the
Right,
intersection. Did
That's
you-
what I talked to him about.
Did you, oh, you did?
That's why we decided to have, so we were talking about the hamlet, we decided to have a walk around the hamlet, so we can get an
Okay.
idea of where the community center
Perfect.
is and, you know, where the church is and how that would impact. So he did mention it to the county. And the county was talking about making a study, I need to get into the weeds of this, and I said, well, we already had this study done.
Okay, that was okay.
You know, and I said, is the study necessary? And we talked about liability situations, and so then it was, he's going to find out more information about that. But one of our concerns was the Lounsbury Valley Road intersection. And our desire to have a four-way stop there, and many people would like a four-way stop there. And so,
But did you think it was reasonable that as a starting point, or maybe it's already been done, but you know, what are other safety measures or what?
yeah, there was a whole,
I'd rather speed
it-
bumps. It's like,
so in the Safe Streets for All, report, they look at that intersection and offer a number of ideas for it.
Oh,
And so Tom and I sat and looked at those. Safe Streets for All, traffic engineers said that they could not put a four-way stop there. So I shared that with Tom. He said he'd like to look into that and he's like, not really sure we have to go with that. Appraisal,
the engineer said
the
you
end,
could not put one there.
right, they said that it went against ASHTO standards.
Oh, right.
And so we talked about that. We talked about,
because you can't see, you're easily to the left or the right.
no, it's more, the amount of traffic or something. Anyway, it's,
Okay.
and then the other thing, so we discussed that, we discussed, gateway treatment idea, which isn't really reflected well in the Safe Streets for All report. And I just realized I never got you guys looking to the Safe Streets for All report. I'm sorry about that. I'll get out an email tomorrow. It's a link you can look at across the county. And so, you know, I did say we don't really want like a big flashing orange or red lights all night either in the hamlet.
Speed bumps, speed bumps,
So
speed.
speed bumps are tricky because the state has, I've talked to local roads people about that. And you have to have a speed limit under a certain kilometers per hour, and you work that into miles, it has to be lower than 33 miles an hour. The speed limit has to be lower than 30 miles an hour.
And it's
for there to
35
be-
there.
It's 35 there, and it has to be a speed table, not a bump. A speed table is longer, speed bump is like a PVC bump, still.
Speed table, whatever.
Speed table, so, yes. and
It has to be
it's interesting
33 miles per
because,
hour
You
for
know,
it to be a
again,
speed table.
the county has told me they want speed tables, or traffic measures on town roads, they did it point out, and I regret it. And then I'm driving them on a county road, and they have the speed table over there, so I'm like,
Is it because of snow plowing?
probably, that would be my guess,
Like, come on, dudes.
you know.
We're gonna go against all safety for the community because the snow plows have to plow the road safely. I
Well,
mean,
there,
come
you
on,
know, it's,
Well, but you're gonna meet with Tom
I'm
and.
gonna meet with Tom, and
Okay.
I'll put out an invitation on with the date and the time, it's like 10:30 in the morning, and what we're gonna,
Yeah, that's okay.
We're gonna be able to-
I'll let you handle
uh,
it. Okay.
so, I walked with Fernando around there, 2001, so, you know, but he's really, personable and really wanting to assist this community, so.
Mhm.
He's very excited about the trail. Talk about that. And, hopes to help us find some funding for it. So,
Well, the other thing I have is, it's not technically a committee, but, you know, Beth Harrington has a group where they've been working on, it was supposed to be kind of a disaster plan, but I feel like they're covering a lot of areas of disaster. Anyway, one of the things they're working on is a business directory of the town.
Hmm.
And they wanted to know if it could be attached to the town website. And maintained by the town webmaster. So I talked to Mark, and Mark said he thought this is something the board should discuss, and it would take, we'd have to pass a resolution saying that that's the.
So this is all businesses or a particular kind of business?
All businesses located in Caroline.
so if we maintain it, does that mean like a business would just call us and say, I want to be on the directory, then we'd have to get someone to put it on there?
Yeah, I mean, they'd have to fill out a little thing and.
Yeah.
So I think they're in the, so this, you know, I have this cottage in this other town in New Hampshire, and they have a business directory on their website, so I just sent her the link, and she said they're using that as a template. And that's just it's got everything, all the businesses organized by, you know, it's got like animal services or,
Well drilled.
well, yeah, well done, exactly. So you don't have to look through everything, you can just go down to your category, you know, carpentry, and it has them just organized in that way, and it just has names and addresses.
I mean, we did have farms listed at some point, right? Do we still have the farms listed?
I think the farm directory's on there.
Yeah, so that should be incorporated in that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever, so I guess it's just, I told her that I would ask if, you know, they could do that, and so this is what I'm doing.
Maybe we should discuss it at the business meeting.
Okay,
That's what I would recommend. I know we've talked about this in the past.
Yeah.
And I just wanna think about all of the ramifications and
There's administrative
responsibilities.
for sure.
Right,
Stuff.
we would have to
Update it.
Update it.
Hey, business is closed, new one's open,
Yeah.
who gets to be on there, who doesn't get to be on there, it's
Right.
it's a whole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does give
Whole
me pause for sure.
I mean, it
So-
could be anybody who fills out a little card, you know,
Yeah.
or puts a form on, you know, as a
Yeah.
request.
But then is it the clerk's responsibility to put it up there? I mean, sometimes you actually could do forms and people will fill out their information online and you submit it. And then it just means whoever is responsible, you click a button and it goes in, rather than someone having to type it all in. So you're
Right.
paying a staff person to type it all in.
I think I think the one in Canaan has a form you can fill out,
Yep, yep.
but I don't know what they do with it after that, like I've never.
But again, somebody's gotta go through it and go.
It
oh,
does seem like you have to vet it somehow.
Anyway, so she wanted to know, I said I would ask,
mhm.
I'm asking. So the other thing, I mean, I think it's a great idea, because I find it really handy anytime, like for well drilling, you know, I just go to that town
Yeah.
and find out who in town is actually doing that work, and it's great. The other thing I mentioned to Mark, I wanted to get back into like a disaster plan for the town. Thinking mainly about, everybody was upset at was it like 2 years ago now, that, there was a big event, power outage, and highway department and the fire department seemed to feel that we weren't involved enough and that we needed to have a plan for, who you call and stuff. So I'd like to get more into that. So I thought the county was working on a plan that, so I emailed her and I have not heard back.
Okay.
Jessica?
Yeah. I asked her where, if there was a template and whatever, and I haven't heard anything back from her.
Okay,
That was a few days ago.
hang on.
Okay. So. Yeah, that's the only other thing I'll just say. So I think it's worth making inquiries on that just to see. I don't think it has to be complicated, but just so that people know who's, who's supposed to be in
We
charge.
have a draft, right? An old draft from
I
like
don't-
2003 that Don started or something, so.
That's true. He did start, because that was not about the buildings. That was about the. Anyway,
And that's what you're talking about, right?
I'm not
You're-
talking-
You're talking about a town-wide
Mhm.
disaster response
yeah,
plan,
like
yeah.
for the fire departments and highway department too.
I mean, I guess my question is. I mean, I guess that's why I'd like to talk with Jessica, and because they did develop one for the county.
They were supposed to be, remember
I
we
think
went to
they
the,
did.
we went to, they had a grant to do it, and I thought they were gonna be, we went to that first meeting. I thought they were gonna be finished by the end of August, and then
I wonder
the
if some
template,
of it was federal and they lost it.
End of this August.
It's
Yeah.
possible.
maybe, I don't know.
Well, I can
see.
ask Mike about it at our next
Okay.
GTOC subcommittee meeting.
I'm surprised that she didn't respond already, actually, just to say it's no longer, we lost our funding, and we didn't do it,
Yeah.
or whatever, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything yet, so.
Okay.
I mean, I
Well,
guess
thanks
you
for
could do it.
reaching out to her.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I think it's,
so,
I guess I wouldn't mind talking to Beth sometime, just see what exactly she felt that we should have been doing or something, because you don't think so?
I would make it that,
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I guess all I'm saying, yeah, like,
Well, anyway, I wouldn't mind pursuing it and just developing some kind of chain of command thing that's
yeah,
like the other kinds of disaster stuff. And then there's also that stuff that Mike sent about climate resiliency, and that seems very complicated. I don't know about. But I guess there's a grant we could get to look
I
into
haven't read that yet.
climate
Is
resilience.
that on the email?
I did email office.
I did not. I could send that to everybody.
Okay,
I'm really into climate resilience stuff. so I'd
Okay,
like
well, I'll
to see
send
it.
this to you.
Okay.
It's a program by the
That's good.
state, and I guess there's some state grants. And if we did it, then we would get points towards other grants. So I will send it to everybody. Cause I haven't had time to look at it really.
yeah, great, okay. I forwarded you that email inquiry from a Cornell master student
Yes,
about emergency planning.
I said I'd be willing to meet with him, but I haven't heard anything back.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I sent it to you. I said I'd be willing to meet with him.
Oh, okay, but you didn't,
I didn't contact him. Should I send it to him directly?
that's what I was thinking, but I can do
Okay,
it.
I can do it.
Yeah.
I'll go back and
So maybe I should do it since they emailed me or something.
okay, yeah,
So,
just say, yeah.
yeah, okay. I'll do that
Yeah.
tomorrow. Thank you. That's great.
Any more committees?
Maybe we should have a climate resilience committee.
Well, that's kind
I'll be
of
on
what, that's what EIC is, that's what you could,
EIC.
Energy Independent Caroline.
Nah, it's not that.
It's part of it, I think.
No.
Resiliency, no? Okay,
I mean, energy
It
is
could be.
part of it, but I think it's more comprehensive than that. Energy is one, just one, because there's food, there's
oh,
transportation, there's water, there's communication. It's like the whole system.
that sounds like a hard committee.
It is, but we need it.
Well, so that's another thing to think about, like, how do we start a new committee and
Well,
Oh, we can do
could
that.
we, if we have existing committees that deal with aspects of that,
Yeah.
we could focus them. The idea of resiliency.
Like the watershed committee,
Right.
has
You know, they.
less I'm not understanding, but
Well, I'll send this and then you can decide if you want
Yeah,
to start a
yeah.
committee. Maybe it's, because it just seemed very complicated to me and
so maybe that's also a discussion for the business meeting, so.
What's that?
I said, I just can't handle.
Yeah, there's lots of committees.
Yeah, no, I heard.
But resilience, none of this makes any sense unless you're resilient, because you just all collapse. So you gotta think about the stuff as a holistic perspective. But anyway,
Anyway,
yeah, so,
the ag committee is not active at the moment, so I won't report anything.
and let's see what else. Oh, yeah, the history room is kind of on hiatus because Barbara's gone, so. Waiting to hear more about the plans for town hall and there was supposed to be, the engineer was supposed to write up a letter, right, about the problems with the loading upstairs and all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was gonna ask him to write a letter.
She was gonna ask him about it,
Yeah.
So I met with, Jennifer, Susan, and Amanda Marsh. And another, Zachary from SHPO this morning
Oh,
to discuss. Jennifer called a meeting to discuss with Amanda, the rear stairwell.
yeah, yeah.
Just making, the questions were about making sure that wanted to clear it. So I am now, I'm now, Susan's gonna help me, but write a letter to her explaining. First of all, I mean, her response was very positive, and I'm pretty encouraged that it'll be fine. That it's not.
Yeah.
It's not bad scope creep or anything, or project creep or whatever, so, but anyway, write a letter, get it to her, and she's gonna clear it through Albany, and then we'll get a response. So that when we put out the RFP, we know that, we don't get in trouble. So,
Right.
but yeah, that was a good meeting, and Steve was there too, so.
Because, when they start putting that in, installing that or doing work on it, that's definitely gonna affect the history room. I mean, they're gonna have to take materials away from the wall and,
Exactly.
and at that one meeting, they said that non-staff people wouldn't be able to go up there, like once they take down the fire escape. The only person that can go up there really is the historian, and it's kind of at her own risk, because there wouldn't be another way to get out if there was,
I see.
if there was an issue.
That makes sense.
So
makes
that would
sense.
affect the whole volunteer effort they have going for doing the.
Yeah,
So,
but that's just gonna have to,
and
be part of
I don't think it's a problem, but I just, think that's the kind of stuff I will let her know,
Yeah.
as the liaison.
Thank
but
you. Yeah.
That's. Right now, nothing is really happening, so there's nothing to report about the history room, other than. We've taken a tally of how many filing cabinets are up there, which is like, what was it, 8 to 10 or something?
Becky did that.
Yeah,
That's good.
just to see, because that's what's apparently affecting the load upstairs is the filing cabinets.
Mhm. Great.
Well, we have a really big container we could.
Big what?
Container.
Container.
40-foot long container.
Yeah.
Is there any court stuff that's needs to be?
No, we haven't, but we should, well, I think once the
So-
stairwell thing is,
When we get the meeting scheduled.
yeah,
Well,
for the stairway, then we can have a meeting with the justices.
yeah,
And I think we should include the newly elected justice
yeah,
as part of that meeting.
sure.
Yeah, because the
Sounds
work is going to be done.
Right, this is the work that's gonna be done, and
Yeah,
I don't think we have to wait till she's been, put in office or anything.
right.
But
That sounds good.
so I think everything's on hold until that stairwell is definitely approved,
Mm-hmm.
and they make plans for when they're gonna.
Amanda said it shouldn't take very long.
Okay.
answer by the 15th, when we meet again.
Okay, great.
of November.
All right, because I did forward you the Judge Barr's email that with the full report from the security report.
You know what, I haven't read it yet, I'm sorry, but I
read
will.
some of it when you sent it out. So,
I will.
Should we address that at the next meeting though, that we should read through it and
yeah,
about the security report in the next meeting? Is it that
yeah,
important?
I mean, I guess.
Have you read it? So I don't know.
I would look-
Well, I'm just wondering what, but I could read it, but then what's the outcome? Like, what are we trying to do
We
with
could,
it?
I think, yeah, maybe we should have a discussion to,
we should probably read it and have a discussion. I mean, I found it was kind of a boilerplate report, like it could have been a courthouse in the city, like exit, entrance.
Because there were things I thought,
Where to bring in
You're not appropriate.
witnesses.
yeah, or I thought we
things like
have
this.
already, you know,
You
like,
have extra rooms for this and this, and it's like.
Yeah.
no, and then it
yeah,
was-
it's a
so it
checkbox.
was-
like easy exits for the
Egress.
justices. And we have two of them right here, like,
Right.
so they're not,
So,
and
Yeah, I mean, there was-
there's a barrier, right? Kind of between the court and the,
yeah, so it just, I honestly, I was like, does this really apply to this little courtroom? I mean, it sounded more like the county courtroom with the you know what I mean? With
oh yeah, well, because the metal
It was just-
detector thing that they were suggesting.
Oh, yeah, the metal detector, that's, security guard, of course, also, I mean, maybe we should talk about it. and I'll go through it more
yeah,
carefully.
let's talk about it next time.
Yeah.
I've read it, so.
So I would say, I don't know if you want to put it on the agenda, but we should all read the report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should familiarize ourselves with it. I don't think you have to read the whole report, you just have to, I always go to the summary, right?
Yes.
Suggestions, at the end, and so each
Yeah, so
section
the
has a
whole
list.
sections and then
Hmm.
sections and suggestions again.
Yeah.
When I read it, I felt that a number of the suggestions weren't really pertinent for this
Right.
situation here.
Well,
And they were talking about a different kind of courtroom, but I'd be glad to discuss it and go more carefully, so.
So I did send that, I will send the climate resilience thing, and maybe we can talk about that with looking to the idea of having another committee. And I mean, I could talk to Mike if he thinks EIC doesn't cover that, or
So, yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Sorry.
It suddenly occurred to me that you two might not know that there's a Friends of the Trail group
I have heard of that, yeah.
been made and that they are doing the work on the trail. So,
Yeah, Aaron Snow said he was enjoying doing the work already
yeah,
with that group.
yeah.
So that was
about
fun.
the work.
Yeah.
We saw people at the ice cream social.
that's right.
Like, you were, is it Louis Friedman, was that his name?
Yeah.
So,
So Bob,
Oh, right.
Bob sent us an email about a truck, a used truck. Did you guys see that?
Is it different than the truck we had already talked about?
Yeah.
No, yes, it is.
Okay.
So. I'm reaching out to everyone. This was yesterday morning. To give an update on one of our older plow trucks, truck 350 is a 2010 International Workstar 10-wheel dump truck that is a frontline plow truck. This truck has been in the repair shop most of the summer and has accumulated some substantial repair bills. Again, truck 350 is back at the repair shop. Again, this time with a blown motor, this repair bill at over $30K, as well as all the other previous repair bills, adds up more than the truck is worth. Truck 350 was not the truck that was going to be replaced in 25, 26 with the truck we have coming. So we do have a new snowplow coming in like February. The truck that we have coming is to replace a 1999 Sterling 10-wheeler that is also in decline. I have found a used single axle plow truck from the town of Dryden that can fill the spot of truck 350 until it can be replaced at a later date. The cost of the truck from Dryden is $50,000. It is a 2014 Western Star with all the plow equipment that will be needed. Please keep in mind that we must replace truck 350 with something as it is one of the 5 main line trucks needed to plow snow this winter. please reach out to me with any questions. I would like to move forward with this as soon as possible with winter weather approaching fast. I guess I didn't check my email. I asked Bob late today what we could get for it, but then what also crossed my mind is why is Dryden getting rid of that truck? So, what are the questions?
So it's either $30,000 engine repair or $50,000 new truck. That sounds like
Apparently,
it is.
yeah,
Yep.
so,
I mean, it seems like a no-brainer,
yeah,
but you have a good point. Is there another $30,000 of repairs on the Dryden truck that's coming sooner than later? And then
presumably he would be aware of that and vigilant about that, but,
I think he did respond to you, and
oh, he did what he said.
it sounded like they were gonna try to maybe say salvage the wheels for something, but
Oh,
basically,
yeah.
most of it was gonna be for scrap, I thought.
Okay.
He did respond. I wish.
And
Am I right about what he said? Am I up?
the current budget, we were talking about the town barns and everything that we're using, that there's a big chunk of money, but they have a lot of things that they're upgrading and repairing with that money, right?
So he has 80,000 in his equipment line.
Okay,
Is that about
Yeah.
paying for this?
yeah,
So he could use that?
that's outside of the new truck that's coming in
Yeah.
February.
So that's why, so the new truck that's coming in. So yeah, so that's. I budgeted 325,000 out of fund balance for that. That's what I showed at that one thing. I mean, that's a decision for us to make, but. So yeah,
And then this is another 50,000,
and
On top of
this
that.
is another 50,000, so.
and that could come from the 80,000.
I can't remember the exact number, but when I added up the reserve funds plus what's budgeted for next year. For equipment. It came to like 326,000, so it's almost enough for a new truck. So,
Well, a used new truck.
no, for the 325,000 one, right?
Okay, but this one's 50, so do we have enough for that too?
No,
No.
so that would be over, so that would. Something's gotta come from fund balance or something, but we have it, there. You know, it's.
Oh, I got another question about that, that came up when you describing, you said this is part of the fleet of trucks. Say there's 5 and this one's broken, so there's 4 now. How much plowing can you do with 4? But I guess they wanna buy this one because it's available sooner than later also, like they might sell it to somebody else. I guess is the
Right.
question.
That I was thinking that, but I was thinking, well. Okay, I'd like to know at some point, how many trucks we need. Like. Obviously, if we had 10 trucks, the roads would be plowed faster, 5 trucks.
Well, he has
Necessary,
5 trucks for 5 drivers.
5 trucks for 5 drivers, okay.
So this is,
I'm just wondering, like, I know the roads need to get plowed, you know, people need to get on the road, and it's also illegal equipment from the state, but. You know, I just wonder how many money goes to these trucks, and it's a huge amount of money, and I still have a hard time getting my head around that amount of money, and it's interesting to me that, you know. I guess just traditionally, that's what the town does, right? We put the budget together, we take care of the roads. When we were having the bond, people were very concerned that we might be spending town money, and yet when we're talking spending 50,000 or 350,000 on the snowplows, there's nobody that comes and says. You know, how much are you spending? Why are you spending it? And I guess that's what I'm saying, it's like, so how much? You know,
you would like to have a discussion about
I'd like to have a discussion, I'd like to understand it further, like
Okay.
how many. Do we just need 5 plows because we have 5 drivers? Is that, or is there you know, some kind of idea that, well, if you have this many miles of road, this is how much you need to keep it clear for, you know, to keep the roads clear within a certain amount of time.
Probably, yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
And is that amount of time, mandated? I have no idea. I really don't know the ins and outs of snowplows.
Well, Bob does. We'd
Yeah, I'm
hope.
just assuming that that's what we're trusting him to,
Mhm.
that it wouldn't be appropriate to sort of second guess his decisions on what he says he needs, but. I know it's a lot of money, but you know,
I mean, I think it's,
And what's the, just curious, what's I'm sure it's in the budget, I don't remember the number. What's the annual budget of just the public works? Is it $1 million? No, the whole thing, the whole budget for a year
for the highway department.
for the highway department.
oh, we just looked at it.
Yeah,
right?
I don't remember what it was, $1 million?
Over $1 million.
Okay. So I guess what my point is, if you have, now we have 2 trucks being purchased in 2026, potentially, or one in 2025 and one in 2026, that adds up to more than a quarter of the budget for a year. It's just it's a lot of money on top of the budget they already have. It's a lot.
But like you say, for this, so they have a truck. It's a front light truck that we
Yeah.
use, and it's gonna cost $30,000 to repair the motor.
Right.
It's
But you said, or we get a new truck for 50,000,
Mhm.
that seems.
New used.
Used, so that seems reasonable to me. To me, 2014 is like brand new.
It does seem reasonable that they get a used one and not, you know, it's just. I just wanna say it's a lot of money, and I wanna make sure people. Realize the cost.
Well, but
To the taxpayers.
so, yeah, so I mean. I understand that, so like, yeah, so, and we wanna be responsible about it, but.
But when will you just give him the decision? When do we, I think he wants a decision.
He needs a decision, I think.
Yeah, so do we have to decide now, or will you just tell him?
We should decide, sooner or later, we should decide, so I just wanted to see if you guys were comfortable authorizing it tonight.
So the 50,000, will that include taxes?
Taxes,
Taxes, it's like state taxes, if we buy it.
Do we pay taxes? We don't typically.
We don't pay taxes, I'm just making sure any fees.
We're probably taxing.
Hey, you know, I'm curious if it's really 50, look, I buy a car, right, and I think it's 28,000 or something, and it's actually 36.
Yeah,
So
but
I
we're
just
probably
want,
tax exempt.
I wanna know if it's 50,000.
well, that's what he said it was, so.
I'm willing to say, okay, I mean, there's the question about like why are they selling it? That's the question, but
Yeah,
ultimately it'd be interesting to do some studies about instead of having 5 big expensive trucks, have 10 smaller, less expensive trucks that when they break down, it's less of a dig into the budget. You know,
Yeah.
just trying, maybe they need a certain size required for county highways or something, so we can't, there's no wiggle room, but I wonder, you know, it's getting less snowy,
I think
and
it's
so
for
that's a
hauling.
factor. What's that?
Cause they use them for hauling in the non-plowing.
Oh,
season.
like gravel and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, but it might be cheaper to have a hauling truck to do hauling and a smaller plowing truck to do plowing.
Yeah.
Especially since if you're running them so hard and then if you
I think,
break them because of the hauling
Yeah.
and then you can't use it for plowing, then you know.
so that'd be a conversation with Bob.
Yeah.
To see what he says, I'm sure he has ideas about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because he gave a couple of years ago, he gave, you know, a big presentation, the age of the plows and how we wanted to replace them, you know, on a rotating basis.
Oh, I get all that,
I think
it's
so.
fine.
I mean, I've been concerned about the size of the truck and that the smaller streets. They don't fit on very well. On the other hand, he doesn't like the smaller plows because you have to go up and down the streets a couple of times. So
could-
it's a
Could
different
we just,
conversation.
if you guys are comfortable with it,
I'm
should I just offer a resolution?
not happy, but I'm.
Okay, so if you don't want, if you don't wanna do this.
No,
it's fine.
no.
We're not gonna figure out, talking
No,
amongst
I-
ourselves
Mhm.
about big and
Yes.
small trucks. Well,
Yep.
that's something we'd have to talk to Bob about, or what's up, Cornell Local Roads or something.
Yeah,
But you brought up the question about why are they selling it? We don't have the answer.
But, okay, we could pass a resolution, say, ask that question
Yeah.
and say,
Yeah.
we can put that in the
put that
resolution.
in there. My guess is that Bobby is, I think Bobby would ask them about like, well,
Yeah,
what's going on with this truck
Yeah,
and
I'm sure
it was,
Yeah.
going for a couple of years and
we can follow
I think
up.
he's pretty
Yeah.
thorough.
I mean, I feel like that's part of his job,
Mhm.
and,
Yeah.
we can second guess him or whatever. I mean, I think the other question about the smaller, I think it's worth doing research on that stuff, because
Yeah, I
I
do.
think,
I think it's a good conversation, but.
yeah, but I don't think we have to do that right
Right
now.
now,
Because I think there's, different philosophies, right? Some people think that bigger is always better. And that, there are innovations that you might do that maybe that's not the case, and I think,
Yeah.
that's a different discussion.
Okay,
I'm in agreement.
so I'll offer a resolution, resolve the Caroline Town Board hereby authorizes the purchase of, a used plow truck from the town of Dryden for $50,000.
A second,
Second by Kate. Further discussion? All in favor?
bye.
Opposed? Great, thank you. I am moving along because it's 10 after 9, and
Really 10 after 10.
but if we have, so do we have comments on the minutes of October 15th?
They were nicely done.
Thank you.
Minutes of October 15th are hereby approved. And so for the next meeting, we did identify a few things, so we're gonna, for the next meeting, we will, we will consider a resolution to adopt the 26th budget, because we have to, but by November 20th,
Mhm.
so. We're gonna discuss the business directory idea. And we're gonna read and discuss the court security document. And then we're gonna look at Mike's email on the resiliency and discuss that, right?
Mhm.
Anything else? For our next meeting, which is the third meeting until the end of the year,
Wow.
is horrifying.
Yeah, I don't have anything from the planning board actually, in my committee reports, but I'm trying to think when's next. So when's our next meeting?
November 15th.
Okay. Don't remember when the next planning board meeting is, but they're still just doing research on the agrivoltaics, so I
Yeah.
don't think they have any.
Oh, I'll just mention, so tomorrow at 4:30 here
Mhm.
Oh, right,
is the public hearing by the Industrial Development Agency on the pilot. And the other financial incentives for the project. I don't know if you had a chance to study all that stuff, but. I'm gonna be here, at least to observe, and. Probably work tomorrow morning on developing some questions, but
I will not be able to be there.
just wanted to let people know.
Fine.
Okay, is that it for tonight?
Yes.
Offer a motion to adjourn,
I'll second it.
second by Michelle, all in favor?
Bye.
Opposed, great, all right,
I gotta go be with a kid.
okay,
Good night.
good night, Jonathan.